What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another Geeks Forever podcast. I am the host, the one, the only, the most chaotic panelist in the state of Texas. That's right, Mexico himself, Jesse Goku. And joining me is the man with the plan, the one that runs the skinny, the Texas Gaming Hedgehog. He is the next voice actor supreme, Keyblade Sonic.
Hello, everybody. Sorry if I feel less energy.
We're
The
we are
fallout from
Yeah,
the
we are
fallout from
both
Colossal.
tired. I had a rough day at work today. I didn't even bother advertising the show. Like there was like nothing.
Yeah, but if
I'm
you
so
follow up,
good. Mm-mm. I'm so tired. Like I went to bed last night at 8, and I didn't wake up until 7 this morning.
11 hours sleep.
Yeah, and it still wasn't enough, bro. Like on the ride home, I fell asleep, bro. Like I closed my eyes, I blinked, and an hour went by. I was so tired, I didn't even dream. Bro. My mind was like, "Fuck this. Darkness is good enough." No, but like it was a great weekend. Like, do we even have a skinny man?
Yeah, a little bit. So first we're just gonna address the skinny, then we'll go straight to Colossal because obviously we have a lot to talk about Colossal.
That's right. Yeah, we have
um,
some good, the bad, the ugly, and
yeah,
the ocean.
souvenirs from
Souvenir.
from Colossal. I was like, might as well make a tattoo sleeve of this guy, dude. That's what Kalahari was doing. All right, so today's skinny is gonna be quite a mixed bag per se. So there wasn't really much of a skinny until this morning that on the Twitter account of Nintendo, they released a message that said this: "We have a message for fans of the Mushroom Kingdom. Please take a look." And it's a basically it's a post. It's just a wall with text. So the text goes: Charles Martinet has been the original voice for Mario in Nintendo games for a long time, as far as back as Super Mario 64. Charles is now moving into a brand new role of Mario Ambassador. With this transition, he'll be stepping back from recording character voices for our games, but he'll continue to travel the world sharing the joy of Mario and interacting with you all. It has been an honor working with Charles to help bring Mario to life, and so many years we want to thank and celebrate him. Please keep an eye out for a special video message from Shigeru Miyamoto and Charles himself, which we will post on a future date. So if you're wondering what that means, after 27 years, Charles Martinet will no longer be doing the voices for Mario, Luigi, Waluigi, Wario going forward. Um, a lot of people kind of speculated that a few months ago when the new Super Mario Brothers Wonder game came out, and the voices were kind of different. Like it didn't really sound like Charles Martinet.
Hmm.
And people thought, oh, maybe he re-recorded, because sometimes they would recycle his old voice clips from like 10, 20 years ago, the old games. But unfortunately, it is confirmed by Nintendo that moving forward, the Super Mario Bros. Wonder game will be the first one without Charles Martinet voicing Mario. So there's been a lot of speculation. We don't know what really happened, what's going on. I will say this. Let's be real. He is pretty much Mario. He has been our Mario for since the mid 90s. I know a lot of it was quite fitting that he played Jumpman and he played Mario and Luigi's father in the Mario movie, and it was kind of a somewhat of a unintentional send off for him to do a line. Don't want to spoil the movie, obviously, but yeah. So I want to say thank you to Charles Martinet for almost 27 years of voicing our favorite Italian plumber from the Mushroom Kingdom.
That's right. I'm not crying. You're fucking crying.
Yeah.
The end of an era, folks.
Yeah, it's truly an end of an era. Uh it's pretty bittersweet. That's the best way I can describe it. Because honestly, the new voice for Mario, Luigi, and all the other characters, they have a big shoes to fill. So let's just hope that a lot of people, knowing the internet, they're not going to do this. Give the new voice with some respect and welcome him with open arms, depending on who it is. But
We know that's
so
not gonna be the fucking case. We already know that the fandom's gonna bitch and complain, and then give it a year or two, and they'll warm up to the new voice.
yeah, I'll probably get over it. So speaking of the Mario movie, for people who don't know, this Sunday, August 27th, is actually known as National Cinema Day. And you're probably wondering, oh, what's the big deal about that? Well, it turns out that National Cinema Day in certain US theaters like AMC, Regal, and other theaters, you could probably watch a lot of movies for as low as $4. So if you missed out on some movies during the summer, Sunday could be your best chance. $4 movies. Who wouldn't say no to that?
By the way, I apologize to everybody. Like it said, coming soon, starting soon. Even though we started like almost 8 minutes ago, we are both really tired, and we got a comment. Respect respect on the internet. Sure,
Yeah, I know. It's a fever dream.
it really is. It's crazy though, bro. Like you mentioned the movie theater. Like Super Mario Brothers is still playing in some theaters,
Hmm. It's
but
amazing. It still is. And speaking of movie theaters, this weekend was the box office. Let's take a look at the results for this weekend. This is domestically. And the winner is Barbie's 4 week victory has come to an end. Her winning streak has come to an end in form of Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle made $25 million on its
oof.
opening weekend. Barbie made 21 million. Oppenheimer made 10.7 million. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem 8.5 million. And rounding out the top five, the movie Strays with $8.2 million.
Which this was a slow weekend for the box office. Maybe everybody was at Colossalcon.
Either that or maybe because also there was also that hurricane in California. And for those people out there affected by
Maui.
hurricane, not only Maui, also in California, there was the hurricane and an earthquake at the same time, roughly. So that happened in California. Our thoughts and prayers go to those people in California. I know you guys are fighting. Then again, y'all are probably the same people who made jokes about us at Harvey. So don't want to say instant karma, but I'm not gonna say instant karma.
We won't say anything bad about Cali on the stream, but if you want to hear us shit talk, join the Discord.
Yeah, join our Discord. Actually, it's really good. We have a lot of members there. An opportunity to showcase your stuff. Like your want to plug in your projects of what you're working on, like YouTube videos, music, etc., interviews. A chance to show off, a thing you just bought at the con. We call it show and tell, and an opportunity to shit post. If you don't have a place to shit post, well, we're
There you
here
go.
for you.
No, yeah. Um, ta- s- Going to the box office, people are now pointing fingers at James Gunn for the failure of Blue Beetle doing very poorly in the box office this past weekend. It could be lots of things that contributed to that number.
Hmm.
There's some natural disasters. There was some that happened a couple weeks ago that we're still trying to sort out and find victims, like the Maui incident. There was a hurricane. I heard about the hurricane because they mentioned something at my job about it.
Hmm.
Um, just lots of different things that could.
Yeah, and also let's be real, the marketing for this movie just was subpar per se. Like
It,
I don't know if I told this last week or I think it was like after the stream that Warner Brothers at when they were at San Diego Comic Con, some guy on Twitter mentioned that they took photos of like the suit and all the props from Blue Beetle. They took picture of it and they posted on social media. One of the representatives from Warner Brothers came up to him. He's like, I shit you not. This is what they said to him. Thank you so much for promoting this movie for us. And if that is a telling, that says a lot, actually.
Jesus.
Shows how little confidence they had this movie. Which is kind of a shame because I saw people said it was really good. It was very entertaining. It was really fun.
I'm gonna go see it. I'm probably gonna go see it this weekend for $4 cinema day.
There you go.
Wait a minute. What if people were waiting for that?
That could be the plan.
I mean, I'm not. And let's be honest, guys. James Gunn had nothing to do with the movie being ruined. He didn't have any partake in the movie. The movie was already being made before
Before
he
he came
took
in.
over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it was already in post production.
Hell, it wasn't even meant to be a theatrical movie. It was supposed to be meant to be like streaming movie.
Yeah, so I'm still gonna check it out. I'm definitely gonna check it out. But this weekend was just not that great. Um, were there any other conventions this weekend besides Colossalcon that I'm not aware of?
Uh, Not that I know of. Actually, I don't even, dude. Honestly, everybody was just talking about Colossal.
Yeah, I know there's still a lot of our friends, some of our followers like are still at like they were there like today like post con podcast whenever we do a post con podcast
Hmm.
they always do poor because everyone's exhausted, everyone's tired.
Yeah.
Like honestly, I was debating on whether doing. We're gonna actually probably just do a short episode today because I don't have the energy to do a full episode.
Hmm.
But we have to keep up the consistency. Just a reminder, everybody. At the end of this month, we are no longer streaming on Facebook. That's it. The end of an era.
Yeah, I think at this point we're gonna start posting it on, in the background, right here next to the bear. Like, hey, we're leaving in 2 weeks, so we don't want to hear you guys saying, "Oh, I thought I missed it. I didn't see you guys on Facebook. Why aren't you guys on Facebook anymore?" Well,
That's true. That's true.
so
But
yeah, just to be safe, we're gonna put it right there, just in case.
somebody text. Yeah, no. But next week we do got a big episode. That's right. It's fine. I never. I like it. Just it didn't seem like this day would be here. But next Monday is the 30th anniversary special, a tribute to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It was 30 years ago this month that Mighty Morphin Power Rangers invaded our TVs on Fox Kids, and the rest you could say is history.
Right. And last thing to promote, I know we were supposed to do Dark Side of the Community on Friday. So a lot happened. So I was trying to, long story short, I was trying to get a car so I could start working Uber. I qualified and everything, but they didn't take my bank account. Uh, so now I'm trying to sign up with another bank. So I didn't have a car. Had to take a bus. Had to take Canada's dumbass with me. Some crackheaded bitch, like you could tell, like she was shooting up in the bathroom because her arm was covered in bruises, and not like, oh, what if somebody punched her? No, no, no,
No,
no.
these are
When
pretty
you,
obvious. These were no punches.
yeah, nobody punched her. She was definitely punching into her veins. They arrested her ass, and here's the crazy thing, bro. Like the Greyhound station is no longer just Greyhound. It's just like, because I was like, hey, what the fuck happened? And the guy's like, oh, you know how the airport is just like, you know how it's different airlines and yada yada
Yeah.
yada.
Now it's universal.
Right. So they do Flex, they do Greyhound, they do Megabus. Bro, they don't check bags anymore. They don't weigh the bag. Well, they don't weigh the bags. They don't check them. Like they don't check for weapons or anything like that. So this chick gets arrested, and she could have had a gun on her, and like
Yeah.
shit could have popped off.
It's surreal how much, like, I haven't rode a bus in like years, but I will say it's like I've heard stories that people recently took bus trips and they're like, man, what has happened, dude? It's like night and day between like the airports and like the bus terminals in
Hmm.
terms of like security and all that stuff. It's like, okay, I feel more safe on a plane than on a bus in terms of like what people bring inside of them.
Man, I like taking the bus. Like I don't have an issue with the bus. It's just the damn term. Like I take Flex bus all the time. When I was um no, I'm not gonna put my private life out there, but I was taking Flex bus every other weekend to Austin last year, and
Mhm.
um, I was pretty cool. But they had us wait like in a shitty parking lot, and I would actually rather go back to that than going back to the terminal because there's all kinds of crazy homeless people that are drugged out of their mind. Like I got dropped off. My mom gave me a ride to the bus. She dropped me off, and the guy's like, "Hey man, I'll watch your car for $1." I'm like, "What fucking car, bro?
It's like, what are you talking about,
What do
man?
you like? There ain't no car there, man." He's like, "Why? I'll watch your flying carpet for it." He literally said, "I'll watch your flying carpet for $1." All right, like not, and so like the girl gets arrested, right? And she doesn't look like she's a junkie. She actually looks really attractive,
Yeah.
and but like the cops went in there and like it was crazy, bro. Like it was crazy.
It's just insane.
That's how my Friday started. And so like I was gonna do the podcast from the bus, but I had no like so there's two ways to get to Austin, right? Because that's where I had to take the bus. I couldn't take the bus to Round Rock because they didn't go there.
Hmm.
So I took it to Austin, and they went like the I-10 and then that back road route, and my internet signal sucked. The Wi-Fi wasn't working. There was no way I could do the podcast. So I had to. text Jose Casabona from the Ravens Flock like, hey, the show's not happening tonight. Like some shit happened. My bus was even 30 minutes late too, bro. Like, and by the time I got to the con, like I had to stop by Walmart get some swim trunks. I got some like Dragon Ball Z pantuflas, which are like slippers,
Yeah.
and like, dude, it cost like $30 to Uber from the bus stop to to the to the fucking resort. But I thought like, okay, let me Uber to Walmart. If there's a Walmart between here and there, I can Uber there, and I'll just like Uber the rest of the way, and it'll cost just as much. Nope, spend $45. And so like the whole like just the trip, just getting there was such a pain in the ass, and I had such a rough day at work too because. But it is what it is. So like the whole that's why Dark Side was like delayed
Delayed.
another week. We're still going to have it this. We're gonna have it this Friday. We're gonna review Anime Matsuri and talk about all the things that happened. There are mixed stories coming out. Like people had a good experience, some people had a shit experience.
Mhm.
Remember, everyone's experience at a convention is different. Some people run into all the crap. Some people have a great time. It is what it is. But an experience at a convention is based off of perspective. Like there are vendors that hate that fucking con now that I invited to the show and they agreed to come on, which I'm kind of glad got delayed because they haven't gotten back to me yet because
Mhm.
I contacted them through TikTok, which is possibly the worst possible way to invite someone on a podcast.
Yeah, it's like yeah, there was a lot of people like I saw on TikTok like talking about Matsuri, and I was like, oh wow, these are some new information that we never thought we would hear. You know what I mean?
Right? Yeah. No, it's fuck, dude. It's crazy. Like all the shit that I heard from Matsuri. Like it's definitely not like it. Like people are definitely losing money at the convention,
Hmm.
and there are some people who are like, "Oh, it was great. It was great. I loved it." Yada yada yada. But Anime Matsuri, I don't know. I honestly, and guys, if you see me in public, like if you see me in public and you want to talk, you want to shoot the breeze, yeah, come on, let's talk, let's hang out, let's get some food. But I really don't want to spend like all of my time talking about Matsuri, especially in person. I really don't give a shit. Like in real life, when me and Keyblade are at the fucking conventions, we don't care about Matsuri. Like we talk about it on here because we're an informative podcast as well as a review podcast and an interviewing podcast and a shit talking podcast. But honestly, like after the show, behind the scenes, we are like, oh, I can't stand. I hate talking about Matsuri. I really do. I really hate talking about them.
It's basically
And
like that. Essentially like that Simpsons episode where like, say the line, Bart, and he's like, I didn't do it. Like us, it's like say the line, Geeks Five Ever.
fuck Matsuri.
Fuck Matsuri. I mean, not that against it, like we don't like it either. It's just like there's some cases where it's like, okay, we don't we don't want to talk about it all the time. That's not our like main. Even though yeah, it grabs our attention, we get a lot of engagement when we talk about Matsuri, but still at the end of the day, we don't want to talk. We don't want them living rent free in our heads. That's the best way to describe
They
it.
really don't live rent free in my heads either. Like I don't even think unless I go on the Discord and it's like Matsuri season, or unless y'all like approach me and talk about it in person, I really don't talk about them. And on the show, we only do it on the show. I even have like a little sticky note that says things to talk about on the show. Throw shade at Matsuri. I have to be reminded to throw shade at Matsuri during the show because it's a running joke.
Yeah.
Like I even explained that in the panel. I was like, "Oh, it's a running joke during the podcast. Fuck Anime Matsuri." But yeah, I mean, Anime Matsuris. If I have to be realistic, because they get so much support from a bunch of people that either turned a blind eye or just don't give a shit, or they don't know, Matsuri's not going to go anywhere anytime soon. And trust me, you know, um, well, I gotta contact some voice talent and find out what happened to find out if the stories I heard were true or not. But let's just say I am digging. Apparently, oh, dude. So somebody said that I'm like TMZ when it comes to the anime community because I got so much fucking tea and dirt
Mhm.
on people. Which, by the way, guys, I wish I could share with y'all, but some of it is like I don't share because some of the shit is either like not true or
Allegation, just
allegations, personal shit, like bullshit,
mhm.
baby mama drama, whatever. But why me, man? I'm like a fucking therapist. I should have became a therapist. And if I don't English very good, that's because I'm tired. But let's talk about Colossalcon, Round Rock, Texas.
Let's do
Family
it. To
Guy
it.
has a similar thing with a list of dead characters they can't use anymore, and they still use some of these characters. Yeah, actually, yes, that is true. All right, so Colossal Con was 3 days. It started on Friday. I thought it was four because for some reason it like I don't know.
You saw a
I
lot
thought
of
it was
people going there a
Thursday.
day early.
Not only that, but when I booked the hotel, it booked it for a day early,
Mhm.
and even one of the emails I think had like a day early date. It was really weird. So Colossal Con was this past weekend. That's right, August 18th through the 20th. It was in Round Rock, Texas, at the Kalahari Water Park Resort.
Mhm.
That place, first off, is massive. This is my first year going. This is their third year in Texas. It's obviously not their first Colossal Con. I did find out some interesting things that they do have an exclusive contract with the Kalahari resorts across the country
Yep.
to do one of the events that they did that we're going to talk about. Because I didn't know this, but IkiCon was at the same location.
It was in January, and there was like people were comparing like Colossal and Icky in terms of like, okay, here's stuff that you could do at Icky. Here's stuff you couldn't do at Colossal. Here's stuff you couldn't do this. You couldn't do that. And it was like there's people I knew who never went to Colossal before. They went to Icky in January. It was at the same venue, and they were like, "Oh, I didn't know you could do this. Icky didn't let us do that." And I'm like, "Yeah." So there's a lot of reasons why Icky can't do stuff that Colossal can.
Right. I was asking about that because people were bitching.
Oh, oh, couldn't hear you.
Oh,
Your mic.
sorry. Can you hear me
There we
now?
go. There we go.
That's weird.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
I was asking about that, like, because people were bitching, like, oh, why don't they? How come they don't have this at IkiCon? And then we were like talking about it, and like we met like one of the the official sponsors of. I'm not gonna say who or what, but so like apparently the convention has a contract. So they had something called Rave at the Waves,
mhm.
and it started at
11.
12, 11. Well, it was
Yeah,
11. Yes, it was 11 because I did
ele-
go for like
it was
30 minutes.
from 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. So if you're wondering
Oh,
what the best way I could describe it is, it's basically Adult Swim. You know, when you go to a pool, it's like, oh, adults can only swim and no kids. That's basically what it is. For basically, you go in, you enjoy the water park late night. So basically, imagining going to a water slide at like 2 in the morning.
it's like if you went to the club, but they had a pool.
Water park. Yeah,
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
and honestly, that's like the big attention. That's like the big draw for Colossal, because a lot of people tell me, oh, I really want to go to that late night water park thing. I'm like, yeah, dude, trust me, here it
The
is.
shit was great. The shit was great. So so it did start at 11 because I did go for like 40 minutes, and then I had to walk back to my panel, host my panel, and then come back. So I went in there, got in the lazy river for like twice, got ready, left. I ran into somebody I knew, said hi. I'm like, ah, shit. Yeah, I went to the rave at the waves or whatever the fuck. And I'm like, oh yeah, I went over there and I jumped in as King Mexico so I can go to my host my panel and be like, hey, I got back from Mexico. Like I'm constant. I called myself a mojado or wet bag,
Hmm.
and the fucking her friend, the my friend that I was talking to, her friend got offended that I called myself that. She gave me this dirty ass look. I'm like, yeah, it's a joke, right? Wet bag, because I jumped in the water. She's like, yeah, sure, I'm sure. I got I got heated because she got offended. and this bitch was like sour cream white. Like, I'm not making this shit up, bro. Like, and I told other Latinos, by the way, I told other people, like, I even told complete strangers what had happened, and like, who the fuck is she to get offended?
Yeah,
Like,
if
even the
anything.
people at my panel were like upset that she got offended.
Yeah, like why would she be offended? Like what? It's like a sense. It's like that meme. Is like everyone posts to be like, "Oh, I'm gonna be offended on your behalf."
We talked about that, by the way. We did talk about that cultural appropriation thing
Hmm.
because I believe it's a double-edged sword. Yeah, it you have to be respectful towards certain cultures, but we were talking about that video where the anyway, I don't want to like get too into that subject, but yeah, we talked about that in the panel, and like because I hosted a panel called Latinos in Anime, which was a great panel. It was cool. It was tiny. We had a small crowd because we were on at the same time as Rave at the Waves. The entire con was empty, guys, when that event went on.
Yeah.
Like it was dead. So go back. I had a great time. I went to the. It's a giant pool shaped like a beach, but they like it makes artificial waves.
Yeah, the
They had
wave
beach
pool.
balls. They had music. It was great, man. I had
Yeah.
so much fun. There was almost a fist fight.
I heard about this.
I was there. Like so, there's this dude with this like one of them little rascal propeller hats.
Oh yeah, the little beanie hats.
It had a little propeller and it had the little front, but it got ripped off. He picks me up and he starts trying to like cradle me and he's like dunking me in the water because and
Wow.
then he picks up another guy. He dunks him in the water and the guy gets mad. He shoves him and then he starts trying to choke him. He's like, "You're trying to fucking drown me. You're trying to fucking drown me, you fucking asshole. What the fuck is wrong with you?" And yada yada yada. And so me and a bunch of other guys go there, separate him, and like while he's choking him, they're struggling. The
Mhm.
dude decked me in the eye.
Oh shit.
The dude punched me in the eye, which he didn't. Luckily, he didn't hit me hard enough to like bruise me.
Mm.
But like, we separated them. Like, I didn't hold it against him because it was like he didn't see me,
Yeah.
and so like, don't worry. Like, hey man, don't like we separated them. Like, we pushed them. Like, we got him off. We were like, hey man, don't worry about him. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. He's fucking stupid. He's fucking stupid. Don't worry about him, bro. And then they had like a talk and they had a heart to heart and they forgave each other.
Mhm.
Oh, I had fucking fun, bro. I was talking about everybody. I got punched in the eye. It was a great night.
All right. Which is the better of the two, that or facing a tree at Renfest?
Fuck you. Oh my god, bro!
But
Like I was so tired. So this is at night. I was so tired. I didn't realize going up one of the slides was a big. It was like 5, 6, 7 floors worth of stairs, bro. And when you're soaking wet, you have more weight to you.
yeah, it's very tiresome.
Because
Like,
they built these things that long because it's meant to have a long ass line, and so you don't go all the stairs at like once.
yeah, and people out there would be asking, "Oh, did you have to deal with lines?" Actually, most of the slides didn't have any lines. You could have just
At
like
night they didn't. At night
at
they
night
didn't,
they
bro.
didn't, but during the day a little bit. But at night, man, if you're just being there, you and a couple of buddies, and for those who drink, obviously they had, the bar was open, so of course you get to have fun and just goof around, just having a lot of fun, man. It's really cool. At the end of the day, it's just pretty much like it's like going to Splash Town like at 2 in the morning.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
And people are like, oh, do you have to pay for it? Well, yeah, you have to pay for it. It was like $40 just to get in, but they made a cap on it, so which is understandable for safety reasons.
They did. It didn't reach the cap though because they were selling the
Yeah,
passes
there
at the
was
door.
yeah, so they were selling them at the door anyway.
Yeah,
But
because we got ours early because they told them like we do have a cap. We haven't. We're nowhere near it, but we might reach it by evening. And we're like, we didn't take a chance, so we bought our shit early.
yeah, that's what we did too. I bought mine's day one just to be safe. I was like, all right, just in case, I don't want to forget all that.
Hmm.
Um, and then we had a lot, and then people just, they got to have fun. They got to chill out. There's so many things. I remember,
Bro, somebody lost their fucking weave in the water. Like somebody fished out a white-haired wig out of the water, and everybody's laughing, bro.
Yeah,
Somebody lost their weave.
yeah, and also because like so a lot of people actually they go to that rave of the wave thing too because like it gives like a couple of cosplayers opportunities to get a photo shoot, doing their posing with their swimsuit gear and all that, which is not really nice. But obviously you got to be careful with your wig. You don't want to get that shit wet.
That's right. You don't want to lose that hair. Walking around bald headed. No, it was funny. I laughed, bro. It was such a great night. The beach balls. You know how many people like they had a massive one. If you weren't paying attention, it hit people and knocked them off their feet. It was great.
Yeah, I saw a couple dudes get hit in the face with that giant ass beach ball.
Oh, by the way, explain to me why that lazy river was so damn fast.
I don't even know, man.
That thing was like,
It goes really fast. Usually within like 10 minutes, you'll be like circling that thing like 3 laps or some shit.
yeah, I know. I
Uh,
went through it twice, and I thought it was
although
gonna
I
take a
will
lot longer.
Although I will say I like the one from Schlitterbahn. Towards the end, you get the giant wave river. That shit was funny. It's just fun to go through. But
I went
yeah,
I went in the water with my sombrero. It got a little ruined.
and the cool thing too, like when you go to some of the slide, because so people who never seen the Kalahari before, some of the slides actually have the tubes that connect that actually go outside and it goes back inside. So in some cases, you would go in the slide, you go in there, it'd be like really dark in there. It's like, oh my god, what the hell's going on? Oh shit. And then it would just that's what adds more to the thrill and more adds to the fun of it.
Oh yeah. Oh, they have that one slide where you're standing in there. They close the tube and they pull the lever from under your feet. Then you just drop.
Yeah, like the brain drain, that's what they call it in
Hmm.
Splashdown.
So I so did you mention how much the pass was for Rave at the Waves?
Yeah, it was $40.
So people were questioning the cost of the $40. In my opinion, worth it.
Yeah, it's really worth it. Actually, besides when you go into the water park regularly, if you wanted to go between like the last 2 hours before it closes, it was like $35 anyway.
Hmm.
So if anything, you were pretty much going to get what you were getting what you pay for.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, not only that, people were able to do like room parties, and then obviously also we did a little lobby party down in the first floor down under.
Yeah, I was there. I was there for a lobby party. I was playing hip hop and rap, and then I started playing like Black Parade and then Linkin Park, and people got more into that than. And I played Barbie Girl.
And it was
Hi,
great.
hi, Lady Dark Gaming. I know who that is.
Hello, hello.
Um, so like it was $40. In my opinion, it was well worth it. At first, I bitched like $40 fucking.
It's like
What the fuck? And then after that, now I was like, we're coming back. We're coming back yearly. This is so we've talked mostly about the rave, but the resort itself was amazing.
yeah,
They had a Build a Bear. What the hell,
you don't often see that a build a bear inside a resort.
bro? They had like a Dave and Buster's style art. I when I went to the rave at the waves and I saw all that shit that they had, I kicked myself in the ass because I was so pissed that I didn't explore the con more when I had the chance.
Because
Well,
you're like, whoa.
I was like, whoa, what? Huh? Whoa. No, bro, dude, it was so cool. I love it. As a matter of fact, we even said that we would go back just for shits and giggles, even if there's no con.
There's like a weekend retreat.
Hmm.
It's really cool. It's a fun place to go to. Awesome experience. And when Colossal was in November, its first year, it was like there weren't that many people who were there for the con as they were this year. Most people, a lot of like non-con attendees were a lot of them here in August. Made sense.
Hmm.
In November, there was like barely anybody, so you got to go to like all these water slides. You could do all this stuff and like not have to worry about other people. But this was really cool. I enjoyed it this year. It's cool to see a lot of people who were like a year ago they didn't go to it. They heard about it. They're like, maybe I'll go next year. And then this year they go and they're like, okay, now I understand why people talk about this con a lot.
Hmm.
And then people be like, I know a year or two ago, I would say it's like, oh, most people don't really go for the convention. They go for the water park and the opportunity to do swim cosplays and all that. But this year, I feel like the con itself actually like stepped up because they were like, okay, this is people are here for the water park, so we've been noticing that the last 2 years. We're gonna step up and we're gonna go all in on this. And
I feel that way as well, but I feel like the con.
still needs
I
work.
don't know. I feel like the con is too focused on the water park aspect and not focused on other aspects of the actual convention.
Mm.
Because I was there, so we've been talking mostly about like I said, we've been talking about the water park, and we've been talking about like praising the con because it was fun. I love it, but I do have some like gripes with the fucking con, like grievances.
Hmm.
Like for one, the like the panel selection for the year,
Hmm.
it sucked. There were at least 5 panels about fan fiction alone for this
Yeah.
convention. You don't need 5 panels about bullshit, the diversity in fan fiction. Who gives a fuck?
Like, I feel like some of those they could have just like combined them together and would have made like two or like at least two, fan fiction panels. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I feel like they could have done better with that. Also, honestly, like the dealers and the artist alley, I feel like every year they're like this. I feel like they could have done better. I feel like IkiCon actually nailed the dealers and the artist alley. I guess because they were given a small room like that. If I feel bad for the colossal artists because like okay, they got the small room and it's like they don't get a chance like explore more and all that stuff.
Hmm.
But I did like their little they did this thing on Sunday. It was called the I think it was either anime or otaku flea market. It was like a little
Yeah,
flea
it was
market.
called like a flea market. Yeah, that was interesting. That's a really cool
Spit it.
top. That was a really good idea, and it was a panel.
Yeah, and basically a bunch of tables, people selling their stuff, and you get to like basically like going to Trader's Village or going to a flea market. And you get to negotiate a price. Like, hey, would you do a deal on these three things? Or
I
uh,
know we were joking like, "Hey, we're gonna get a booth next year at the market, and we're gonna have Canada behind the curtain." Like, "Hey, reach arounds $10. Get them from a Canadian."
yeah, that'd be interesting. Um, but yeah, it's like really cool, and I got a couple of things. Actually, I got more stuff at the flea market than I did the actual dealers.
Mhm.
And like for example, I got this like Marty McFly Funko for like $5.
That's cool. That's
I,
really cool.
I like it.
Did
It's
you
really
see the
cool.
stupid picture I posted on the Discord? My haul from the con is just an empty wallet.
Yeah, what a fly
Yeah,
flying out.
yeah,
Yeah, but it's really cool. The convention was really awesome. It was very like very chill per se. It's like they had a lot of people, actually a lot of people from like the other colossal cons, in Ohio and then Wisconsin.
dude, I met people from Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota too.
I was like, "What the hell are you doing down here? Place sucks."
So and so for people out there who don't live in Texas or live in like those part of the Kalahari, so the next colossal con will be in September. It will be happening in Pennsylvania. That will be Colossal Con East. Colossal Con North will be happening in Wisconsin Dells, in Wisconsin on November 17th and the 19th.
We got invited to that one.
There we go. And then Colossal Con Prime, which will be in Ohio, May 29th and June 2nd of next year.
Prime,
Yeah, that's basically the
the
original.
first one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's pretty much
figured.
like PAX Prime.
Like Optimus Prime. I can't do any voices. I'm tired. My voice is
Yeah, my
hoarse.
my my voice is fucked too. I have a sore
My
throat.
tongue hurts. I'm pretty sure I bit the shit out of it while I was sleeping. Um, no, but like my gripe is mostly with the panels because it just seems like there were a
Recycled.
really lot of dumb panels.
Mhm.
I will say this though, we hosted mental health awareness, and the people that came out and like opened up and shared, like I'm really like that was moving. Like that was really moving. It was really it was an experience that I would not trade. Like people really opened up and we shared and it was really great. I really want to do more panels like that. And we actually came up with an idea for a brand new panel. that I'm going to submit to Onicon and Anime North. I don't know if I missed the deadline for them yet. I hope I didn't. So I decided to create a brand. So there was a panel at Delta H Con called, it was a rock paper scissors thing.
Hmm.
So me and the other panel. So I talked to my buddies who are like some big panelists in Texas. They all had the same complaints I had about the panel list for Colossalcon. But like they also acknowledge that panelists steal from each other. Like there's
Yeah,
no,
let's be real, we all do.
yeah. So
Unless you trademarked it, then I mean, shouldn't be surprised if your stuff gets stolen.
mhm, right, exactly. So why not do an anime like the Tournament of Power, but with different anime franchises instead of like, because each in the Tournament of Power they had 8 universes
Yeah.
fight. So instead, like since they're different universes, why not different anime franchises? Like get a team for each anime franchise and have them compete in a battle royale doing rock paper scissors with a 45-minute time limit,
See, that'd be big.
and the winning anime team would be like the champs.
Hmm.
And then we have like a kid, like we can dress Sonic up like Zeno and be like, "You're erased from existence" or some shit like that. Bye. This little bullshit bye. I think that'd be great. I think that would be a really good, entertaining panel.
That actually would. It'd be like an interesting idea, or like an interesting concept about it.
No, read the comments.
The losing weave. What the fuck?
Losing
That's
weave.
happened. As not just weaves, also wigs, and somehow some swim trunks, maybe, and bikinis got
We
loose.
started crying when one of the beach balls got popped.
Oh,
No, I hate conga lines. They did a conga line in the pool, and it was so stupid because they were constantly in the way.
yeah, they do tend to get in the way like that.
Mhm. But it was like, yeah, my only issue were the panels and well, things that the con can control
Mhm.
was just the selection of panels. Other than that, oh, and the $40 for their stupid towel. It's not stupid. Sorry,
It's just souvenir towel.
it's a souvenir towel. It was okay. It was okay looking, but I wouldn't
When
spend $40.
I probably pay like honestly like $20, at least 20.
Yeah, no, yeah, we were there. We were there. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Wait, it wasn't last week though. It was literally yesterday
Yeah, it was
and
this
2 days
past
ago.
weekend. Yeah, this past weekend.
Yeah, I would definitely check with your friend on that one. He's sick. Like what? Did he get like food poisoning?
Probably. Actually, I will. Speaking of food, though, I will say that the food at the resort itself. I don't know, man. It could have been better because I think
I'm
I
not
made.
gonna. I'm not gonna. Yeah, the pizza place. It was like $13 for a meatball sandwich that was like this big.
Yeah,
It wasn't
seven
that
bucks.
great.
$7 for a slice, and the pizza was like
Oh,
it felt
seven
like
bucks for a
a
single
slice.
slice. 7.50 for a specialty.
Yeah, so if you wanted pepperoni, it's 50 cents more, and then it's like the pizza was just there like all day, and then they just heat it up, and that's it. Call it a day. And I'm like, nah, bro. I had that slice on the first day, and I wasn't feeling. Honestly, my stomach got it. Some of the people I was rooming with, one of them said, "Oh, I wasn't feeling good." She was not feeling good. Like she had to go to the
So
bathroom a lot.
where the fuck is Bry? Where's Bry? He needs to be on here.
Give
We
his thought.
gave this man money, and he bought two. He bought 32 pieces of chicken from Popeyes
Smart.
for our hotel room. We called it Chicken Con.
Chick con.
Chick. No,
Chick con.
it was Chicken Con because we saw that dude downstairs and he looked like a giant chicken.
Yeah,
And thinking about it, like when we were eating the chicken, I'm like, wait a minute, what if that motherfucker was Blaziken?
probably.
He probably was because he was talking to other Pokemon cosplayers.
Likely was.
And
And then
like one of the cosplayers got mad because I called her. I'm like, oh, what's up, Espeon? She's like, I'm Umbreon. I'm like,
I mean, to be fair, I mean, not everybody knows Pokemon, but at least you know it's an Eevee. They could have just said, "Oh, it's a dog." You know what I mean?
I could have been like, oh, a furry.
Right. It could have been that, but But the some of the cosplays I saw were really cool. They're really creative. You know, there was one cosplayer who was actually one of the guests at Colossal. She did Ariel from The Little Mermaid with like the mermaid tail and all that, and I thought that was really cool. I saw the Evolutions. I saw a lot of Mario cosplayers. Thanks to Box of Props, he actually made this like gathering of like all these Mario
I saw the
cosplayers.
photos.
It
Yeah.
was really cool. And also on TikTok, he posted on TikTok like some of the videos. It was really awesome. I even saw someone cosplay Chell from Road El Dorado at the rave at the waves. I'm like, man, you took your whole thing there? Cool. I think
Give me
Goku.
1 second. Give me
There
one
you go.
second.
And then random thought actually, I did talk to some of the Evolution cosplayers at the rave at the wave. We were waiting in line, and then I keep hearing them do like Italian voices, like the most stereotypical ones. They go like, "Forget about it," or "I'm walking here," and then I just told them like, "Oh, I'm from New York, so I could tell what y'all saying." And then we just had fun and all that. And that's the cool thing about some of these cons, like especially at this rave at the wave, you actually meet up with like cool people that you don't get to talk too much at the con because they be like at different areas, you know what I mean? But in at the water park, you meet a lot of cool people from different backgrounds and all that stuff. And some of these people you could like talk to like years from now and all that stuff.
Hmm.
Um, and I just think Colossal is like one of those conventions that if you like water parks or if you like seeing like a different setting for a convention, I would definitely go to Colossal. Um, is this one of those conventions like it's like a one like try to go at least once, you know what I mean? It's like what off your bucket list. And I have a feeling because next year the dates are actually going to be at the same time next year, so it would actually be in one sec. Let me just find it for you. The dates will be August 16th to the 18th of
Thank
2024,
God. Not
which
in
is
July like every other con.
yeah. So it'll be in the same weekend. So and I have a feeling a lot of people that the more we talk about it and more people went, I have a feeling that next year it's going to be bigger next year.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. And which was bullshit already this year. Because, like, the fucking lines to leave on Sunday, which me and my friends have already agreed, fuck that. We're not doing that again next year. So we're staying till Monday. Dude, there was a line, like, the lines were all the elevators wrapped around the corners.
Yeah,
I'm glad I didn't pack a lot because I was able to backpack my shit and take the stairs.
yeah. We stay. I stayed from Thursday to Sunday, and that's usually what we do anyway. But um, yeah, sometimes there's some things you can't control. Like for example, oh, you have to check out at 11 and all that stuff.
Right, yeah, but I feel like you could have stayed an hour later and they wouldn't have given a shit. But one thing I want to bitch about the con is for some reason they turned all the Coke machines off.
The Coke machines
Yeah, they turned them all off Saturday night.
at like what the pizzeria or at
No,
the.
in the floors.
Oh, okay.
Because I was talking to Pixelation, James from Pixelation, and he went through several floors trying to find a Coke machine that works, and we found a few, and none of them worked. They had turned off the dial part, so you couldn't use them to order anything. Why would they do that?
That's kind of interesting. Especially with like they put all of like the colossal con attendees, they put them at like a certain floors, like the fourth floor. That's where all most of the colossal attendees were, and then there were some on the fifth floor, I think, or the sixth floor. I don't remember.
There was some on the sixth floor. By the way, I want to apologize to the fucking furries, our neighbors. Next time, don't have your fucking orgy next door. Se- we were on the sixth. There were cosplayers on there. The seventh is where that party was.
Mhm.
So I don't know if you heard, but some like there's rumors about someone walking around the conventions that was roofing people.
No, I actually didn't hear about that. That's kind of news to me.
So apparently there was a story going around that somebody was slipping drugs to people at the rave. I actually talked to somebody. Like I got this from the horse's mouth,
Mm.
just to put it out there. That wasn't the case. They gave a DJ an edible, like they gave the DJ an edible and the DJ consented to taking it. However, they didn't tell the DJ how strong the edible was. So let me put it like this: 100 milligrams would already put a lot of people on their asses. Apparently, this was 5 times that amount.
Mm.
So the DJ was like very incoherent, and it ruined the night for several events. So it is what it is. I know I do have names, I do have information, but I'm not going to share that on the stream. That's what the Discord is for. Come on, join our Discord for all the fresh brewed tea. We got all the tea,
Sweet or unsweet
mm,
or
all the
mix?
bitter mix. We got some with salt. Yeah, because like there's some pettiness going on in the convention right now. There is. So I never shared this with anybody, but there was one individual who stayed in our room at Delta who was bringing random people into our fucking room. One of the rules for our hotel room is if you're gonna bring people into our room that we don't know, you have to stay with them at all times.
Yeah.
Like these people were in our room alone, and I think they dug through our shit because money disappeared out of my wallet. I'm not kidding.
That's very suspicious.
It's fucking no. I know they took it, but I don't want to say because I don't. I don't want people going after this person and like harassing them or anything like that. But I know exactly what happened. So you know what? Fuck you. You know who you are. Um. Yeah, but like there were minor things with the con here and there, like the Coke machine thing. I don't know if the con, like the con doesn't have control over that. That's the hotel. But like the panel thing, really, guys, the con was way too expensive for the food wise.
Yeah.
Food wise, way too expensive. And
Yeah.
like anything within a mile had an hour long wait. Like McDonald's had a line that wrapped around the damn building.
Mhm. Yeah, there was a lot of people who like people didn't know this past weekend. Like Domino's was doing this thing. It's like, oh, you got 50% off everything off the menu, and like we saw a lot of like Domino's delivery drivers. We saw a bunch of Chick-fil-A delivery
I think at
drivers.
one point they sold out.
Yeah, because a lot of people kind of like took advantage of it.
Yeah, like it was crazy. Like, definitely lots of lines. Uh, but the lines weren't that bad. As a matter of fact, the line for the Ray with the Waves was only long because they were checking people with bags. Like, if you didn't have a
Yeah.
bag, you didn't have anything, you could just walk right in.
Mm-hmm.
They were very thorough with checking the bag,
Secure.
so trying to sneak in alcohol was not going to happen.
No, it was
Even
not
though we
gonna.
still managed to do it.
Somehow still managed it.
They didn't check my bum, so no, I didn't do that. But no, it was great. I loved it. Sonic, what are your pros and cons? I mean, overall, what are like two things you think that they did the best, and what are two things you think they need to fix?
Uh, I think that they should do. Okay, so the two things they did get right is uh the Rave at the Waves, which did a great job. I did like how they pretty much, especially people who ran like panels or who were vendors and all this stuff. It gave them a chance to also like check out the water park and stuff like that. You know what I mean? In terms of like just being able to just be every adults out there, an adult swim party, you know. Um, Another thing I did like, they got they did a concert like an hour before the rave the wave thing, just to like get people hype per se. They had the band, they had Mystery Skulls there, which was actually pretty cool.
I have no idea who that is.
Oh, his song was in WWE 2K15. That's the only fucking song I know from them. This time I might just disappear, and I'm like, oh yeah. That was actually kind of cool. So one of the issues I had with it actually happens at the Wave at the Rave was that they had the DJ booth, they had the DJ setup, right? Unfortunately, it was blocking one of the entrances to get into one of the slides in the back of the screen. So we added people would have to go like across the wave pool just to go to the other side of the entrance just to get the.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Mhm.
Right. Oh, I didn't think about it because when my friend took us up there, he led us directly to it, so I didn't have that. I didn't run into that issue. But now that I think about it and picture it in my head, yeah, you're right. They did
Mhm.
block an entire like path.
Yeah. And in terms of the con itself, I really would have liked if the artist alley they had more artists. They actually across from the on the other side of the artist alley, there's like a big like ballroom. Like on Friday, they use it for like a craft fair or something like that. And then Saturday, Sunday, I don't even know what they use it for. And I feel like they could have added more artists in there.
Yeah, because if you guys aren't aware, like the artist alley was like literally the size of a panel room.
Hmm. And also, I think my one issue was the arcade for some reason. Not really the arcade,
They had an arcade.
a game room basically.
I
The
thought they
game
didn't have a gaming room because the hotel
they
had an arcade.
yeah, they did have a gaming room. It was just like obviously they had the console games and all that stuff, but I think one of my big issues is like, okay, that's cool you have an arcade, and I'm glad you had all these games, but in terms of consoles, like, why do you also have Smash Brothers on Wii U and not Smash Brothers on Switch?
And
You know what I
we,
mean?
yeah,
It was kind of weird. Like, dude, what the Mario Kart tournament? Oh, it has to be done on Wii U. It's not on Switch. I'm like, why?
because it's cheaper.
If you can find a Wii U now. um, but yeah,
It's
so other than that, I mean, I thought it was great. Obviously, the weather kind of sucked outside. It was really hot. You know, obviously trying to get all your stuff from.
I didn't go outside for shit, bro, until nighttime when it felt great. But like during the day, I didn't go outside for crap. Like the AC, like worked great.
Oh yeah, the AC was great. Um, but in terms of like the conventions, it's not the conventions fault, more like the venue, which is the Kalahari. The food, man, for the price you're paying, you would expect to get more, not for what you got. You know what I mean? Like, if anything, would I really want to get one slice of pizza for $7? I can get like a Little Caesars thing, like a whole thing for $5 or $6 now.
All right, we got 32 pieces of chicken for $80.
Yeah, see,
Chicken con.
chick con,
So,
fried
like
con.
the things I did, obviously, I'm gonna agree with Sonic. The rave at the waves was possibly the best thing. Um, one thing they did do good though, like the staff were so easy to work with. Like there was no issues, no lack of
Mhm.
communication. They're so like easy to work with. It was insane. Like how like no, we ran into no issues
Yeah.
whatsoever. Um, my biggest gripes are like everything was a little hard to find. If you've never been there, like it's really fucking difficult. You can get lost.
Mm. I for anybody who's ever been there like the first day or like early in the first day, I would suggest like just walk around just to get an idea where you're going. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah, because it's massive. It's the size of a mall.
Mhm.
And I think my second biggest gripe, obviously, it's gonna be the panels, the panel selection. But it's not just that. Like they had panels. The karaoke there,
I didn't even know there was a karaoke. I
there
really
was
didn't.
karaoke. It was only like 2 hours long, and it was like they had a list of pre-selected songs. The karaoke wasn't that great, and they had panels during the rave at the waves. Like the panels are gonna suffer during, and I understand why they did it. Not everyone's gonna go to the rave at the waves, but like I feel like the panels really hurt my opinion of the convention. Other than that, like the overpriced food, that's not the convention's fault. That's the Kalahari's fault, and they're a resort, so that's expected. But like the fact that the con had like a lobby party and the bonfire outside, like that was really great. You know, the con had something to do with that because they knew. And overall, man, I really don't have that much bad to say about the con. Like, unfortunately, I did miss a lot of Saturday because I took a nap Saturday in the hotel room.
Mhm.
My nap turned into sleep.
That's what happens sometimes at these cons too. I always keep forgetting about that. Your naps could go from nap Oh, it's like, oh, I'm gonna shut my eyes for like a few seconds, 3 hours,
No, it was 7 hours.
or
It
seven
was
hours
seven
in your
hours.
case.
Bro, when I woke up, everybody said, "We've been looking for you, we've been texting, we were calling. Where the fuck you been?" Dude, I said I was gonna take like a 3 hour nap,
It became a
and when
fucking
I woke
7 hour
up, it was
laugh.
dark outside. So, like overall, okay. So, what is your score for the con?
It's tough to really answer that. I really wish I would remember what I gave the past two ones. I will.
Actually, I still have the for okay because Delta got an 8.5
Mhm.
overall average.
Yeah.
You weren't here for the Anime Texas one, but that one got a 7 average, 7.5 average, and Comic Palooza got an 8.
Mhm.
Etchy Fiesta got an 8. Minicon got a 7. Um, Matsuri got a 2. So overall, the highest rated con. So the con that's the highest rated right now is Delta H Con at an 8.5.
Mhm. I think that's what, in terms of overall my experience on it, I probably would give it around that range, like 8.5. That's probably like the safe range for me.
Okay, okay, that's pretty fair. I'm going to give it an 8.5.
8.5. Okay.
I would give it a. I would actually give it a 9 if it wasn't for the panel selection.
Mhm.
They need more Geeks 5 ever panels.
Yeah, and also time some of these panels because there was a lot in the map where it was like dead. They could have just put a panel in there. You know what I mean?
Right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, oh, the panel room too,
Mhm.
where we had mental health awareness on the stage. They had a chair and a couch. It
Mhm.
looked like Jimmy Fallon show.
Like a talk show.
Like a talk. No, seriously, like a talk show. It was actually really impressive. It was really cool. I really like that setup. Like that was a really good setup. So I really like that. So yeah, definitely an 8.5 for me. So their average score. So let me go ahead and add this one. We can have it on here for our record. I know I spelled that wrong, but whatever. Tejas. So Colossalcon Texas 2023 gets an 8.5 out of 10 this year, tying them with
Delta
Delta
H.
HCon. Oh, BaCon got an 8. That's right. My bad. I forgot. So, yep. There you go. Why are they still posting in here? Uh, anyways, that's pretty much it. All we have for today, guys. Me and Sonic are really tired. Wish we could do a longer show, but I'm already like dying. But we will be back Friday for Anime Matsuri special and Monday. Don't forget, Monday is our Power Ranger 30th anniversary special. And
Yeah.
that's going to be big. That's going to be fun. That one's going to be great. Especially now that David Yost is coming back. I don't know if you guys know, but in Cosmic Power Rangers Cosmic Fury, David Yost is returning as
There
the
we
Blue
go.
Ranger.
Nice.
And they kind of already spoiled that Lord Zed's going to be in it. They spoiled it because he's on the poster.
So it kind of essentially gave it away.
Yeah, because in the current in the last one, Dino Fury, which becomes Cosmic Fury, he
Mhm.
was imprisoned by the Morphing Masters because they couldn't beat him,
Mhm.
and somehow he's going to escape and become the new villain again. So it's interesting to see where this goes. So I might
Yeah.
check it out. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Sonic, go ahead and plug your stuff because I know you got a lot going on right now.
Yeah. So follow me on Instagram, Super Saiyan Sonic. I'm gonna be posting the cosplay images I got from Colossal. So as we were talking about Colossal. Follow me on YouTube, Keyblade Sonic, on TikTok, and follow me on Discord. Add me on Discord if you want. Keyblade Sonic VO on Discord. And speaking of Discord, join us on Discord. Join our server at Geeks Five Ever. And so basically, if you want to know some extra stuff, you want to hear announcements, you'll hear it first at Discord.
That's right. We got all the juicy tea, all the con stories, and all the shit talking you can handle. We even have a new Sonic added a new channel to it. What is it called?
Show and tell.
Show and
So
tell.
if you
Oh,
want,
that's right.
so if you want to show off your new purchases, you want to show off your collection, you want to show off something that it's pretty that looks cool, show it there, and we'll look at it, and maybe you'll like ask, oh, where'd you get it? You could send links, an opportunity, if you want people to buy it themselves, that's the place to be. Show and tell channel on our server.
Right. Also, yeah. So also, if you guys haven't heard, uh, this is another reminder. Dark Side Part 2 for Anime Matsuri. I did mention that we're doing a Dark Side this Friday. That is Part 2, not Part 3, because the Part 2 got delayed for what happened
Mm-hmm.
last week on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Crackhead Con. Anyways, all right, guys. Thank you for joining us. We will see you Friday and hopefully Monday next week. Oh, that's right. San Japan's around the corner.
Yeah, the road to San Japan will be coming up too.
All right, guys. Have a good weekend. I mean, have a good week. We'll see you Friday. Bye.
You guys take care now.
Where's sorry? Gotta find my closing video.